One day my wife took me to Insadong for some sightseeing, and there I saw my first hanok. In fact, I said to my wife at one point, what is this? And she didn't know what I was talking about. And I said, oh, that building, what is it? And she said, that is a traditional Korean house. And I said to her, it's just beautiful. I would like to have one of those. The lady was coming out of a house at that point, so my wife, my request, stopped her and asked her how much she wanted to sell it for. And the lady said she wasn't selling her house, but she knew where somewhere for sale. And so the following day she brought us to Kahoi-dong, and we spent a few hours looking around at different houses. But the moment I saw this house and entered the courtyard, I said to my wife, this is it. This is so beautiful. This is the one I want. And so we agreed to buy it with the owner immediately, and that's how we come to be here.
참 옛날에는 어디 나가서도 가해동 오면은 사실 저희 시골에서도 그랬어요. 저희 아버님도요. 여기 가해동 집을 샀다니까 그건 보통 일이 아니다 이렇게 생각하거든요.
왜요?
왜 가해동이 옛날부터 양반 동네로 소문난 동네가 시골 분들이 그렇게 알고 있어요. 지금도 어디 가면 가해동 양반이라고 그러지. 그러니까 옛날 그 유산을 그대로 연세 드신 분들은 그 생각을 그냥 가지고 계세요.
I think that Kahoi-dong is a particularly important part of Seoul because it is the last district in Seoul where you have 3 or 4 streets simply lined with authentic hanoks. You see hanoks in many other parts of Seoul, but usually you see a hanok, a modern building. You do not get a feeling of how Bukchon or indeed how Seoul would have looked at an earlier point in time. So by accident or design, this particular part of Seoul has become a historical treasure, and it allows both Korean people and tourists from overseas to capture a sense of how Koreans lived their lives a long time ago and how buildings looked at that time. Kahoi-dong is roughly midway between 2 very famous palaces that nearly all visitors will come and see. People in many countries are interested not just in the palaces and the fortresses, but in the way ordinary people live their lives, and Kahoi-dong provides an opportunity for people to do that, or rather it did provide it until all the demolition work started.
옛날에 아래 하인들이 살던 집은 이 대문 고가 낮아요. 왜? 하인들은 항상 양반 밑에서 고개를 숙여야 됐거든요. 숙이고 다녔죠. 옛날에는요. 그러니까 이 문지방도 맞아요, 이게. 일부러 낮게 한 거예요. 그러니까 그런 집은 다 없어졌어요, 지금. 그런 것이 보존 가치가 있는 집이다. 난 그렇게 생각하고 있어요.
I think the government's original plan for the restoration of Bukchon was an excellent plan. I've studied the documents. They prepared the plan with great care, great sensitivity. They wanted to retain the authentic hanok-style character of Bukchon and make it more beautiful, perhaps like it was originally in the 1920s or even earlier. But what has happened in practice is the plan has been forgotten completely, and we are witnessing the complete demolition of hanoks in almost every district of Bukchon. In our own particular street, ours is now the only original hanok standing here that is still being occupied. The other buildings are either completely new or they appear to be awaiting demolition by developers. The buildings that take their place when the demolition has occurred are not hanoks. They are modern buildings, steel and concrete, two-story buildings very often. And I think a question has to be asked, why has this happened? How has it happened?
여기 몇 집이 새로 지은 집이 분들이 들어왔어요. 들어와가지고 처음에는 정부에서 이 한옥 보전지구로 한다고 해가지고 이 개축이라고 그랬거든요. 네, 개축으로 알고 있었는데 실제 보니까 개축이 아니고 신축을 하고 있더라고요. 그래서 그것 때문에 이 동네 어른들도 많이 다퉜어요. 왜 개축하고 신축하고는 차원이 다른 거다. 개축을 하게 되면 있는 그대로이기 때문에 옆집과 옆집 사이가 떨어져 있던 옛날 그대로인데 새로 지면서 자기네들이 땅이